Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a set review here for you. This is from back in 2005. It is set number 7256, the Jedi Starfighter and Vulture Droid set. It came with 202 pieces and it originally retailed for $20 in the United States. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the review. Okay, and we're going to start out with a close-up look at the Jedi Starfighter. This is the original Jedi Starfighter design, and if you notice, I am missing a couple stickers that go right here. There are just two little gray stickers that kind of make up a little shape to add a little bit of detail to this ship. And obviously I'm missing them, but I think it's okay because the amount of detail that they add is kind of minimal and honestly you don't really need them. Overall, the design of this Starfighter I think was done really well for a first attempt. The new one that came out in 2014 obviously is a lot better, but this set also came with a Vulture Droid. So with the trade-off you get with only getting one ship, I think that this set was a better value for $20 because it came with two ships for $20 instead of one. So as you can see, these wings go ahead and go into attack mode where they are able to be used for maneuvering, I guess, in space and or atmosphere. The only problem with this design is, as you can see, they kind of start to fall apart fairly easily. The clip design that is used here, I think, is kind of flawed in a way. I'm not sure what the big problem is. Honestly, it could just be because it's old, but I'm not really sure because they just don't stay in place very well. They kind of tend to fall out fairly often, to be honest, which I think for 2005 is kind of okay because we're used to the higher quality stuff these days, but back in 2005 everything was a little bit more flimsy and Lego had a little bit less pieces going into everything, so there wasn't as much structural stability and everything. But overall, the design of this ship is really good. The only main complaint I have is that this R2-D2 head is the only thing you get as far as R2-D2. You don't get the rest of his body because there's not enough room in the ship to place a whole astromech, whereas in the new one you get a whole astromech body and you can place the whole thing into the ship, and I think it looks really good. With everything closed down, the ship looks really good in landing mode. I think the cockpit is a big printed piece, and I think that's really nice that Lego did that. The same cockpit is still being used today for the same Jedi interceptors that have been released recently. As you can see, there's a couple of landing gears here to let the ship sit normally on the ground instead of being in a weird position. Overall, I'd say the design of this ship is done really well. Like I said, for 2005, it's really good actually. So, with all that said, we're going to move on to the Vulture Droid. Okay, and here's a look at the Vulture Droid from 2005. This is the second or third edition. I think it's the second edition that we got of the Vulture Droid. The first edition came out in 1999 and was all brown. This is the CIS version, or the Separatist version, and it's in the blue color scheme. Something that I noticed really recently is that the stickers on my set don't match the stickers in the instruction booklet, which is somewhat interesting to me because it shows that Lego did an update to the stickers, but they never updated the instructions. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but my stickers don't have any detailing over here or over here on either one where there would be some battle damage that is in the instruction booklet, but you don't see it on my stickers. It's kind of interesting. The same thing goes for up here, where I have a really small 1x2 sticker, when in the new sets, in the newer version of this set, it is a 2x2 sticker with some battle damage on it. Other than that though, there is no difference from the productions of this set. I think that it's really cool that Lego allows you to let the Vulture Droid stand up, as you see in episode 1, and also can go into flight mode really easily. I think that's really cool. The one main flaw of this Vulture Droid is that in order to get it in the non-attack mode, you have to completely remove these pieces and adjust how you place them on this plate. So it's not the easiest, smoothest function, obviously, but it works for what it was back in 2005. Like I said, for the value of $20, you got two ships, and they both were fairly good models for what they were back then. Okay, and taking a closer look at the one minifigure that you get in this set, this is the 2005 version of Episode 3 Anakin. As you can tell, this is kind of an older looking minifigure, and this is the first year that they actually used the flesh color for Star Wars figures, and it's also the first year that they used the plain gray handle for the lightsabers. There's a couple things that I do like about this figure and a couple things that I don't like. I'll start with the things that I do like, which is he's got a very simple torso print, and I think it works really well for this figure. I think that LEGO did a fantastic job with the very first version of this minifigure, and I think that back in 2005 this was perfect. I also really like the scars on his face, and I think that it looks really good. Overall, this is a very solid printing on this figure. A couple things that I don't like is, number one, the gray handle of the lightsaber. I think LEGO took a huge step backwards when they introduced these gray handles instead of the chrome ones. And the hairpiece is actually kind of atrocious on this minifigure. I think this was the only long hairpiece that they had back in the day, so it's kind of all they had to go with, but it does not look like it at all, and it is just kind of a terrible hairpiece for Anakin, honestly. Overall though, I really do like this figure. It's got that cool nostalgia factor because it's the first version of the flesh tone for Star Wars, and he's got the old style printing, and I think overall it's just a really solid figure, but like I said, that hairpiece is just kind of atrocious. Alright, and that's going to do it for my review of the Jedi Interceptor and Vulture Droid set from 2005. If you guys liked the review, definitely leave a like on the video. If you like what I do on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And with all that said, I'd like to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with more uploads.